Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Siyat, coming back with another video. Before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiam, the brothers across the world who are teaching this truth in sincerity, and may the election be upon your household. Khan Shalom. So today I want to make a video concerning this article that I came across. One of the Akiam shared it with me. And it's actually, an article from January, what happened. But it's still good to bring it out, because this is what's happening out here. While everybody's partying, doing their thing, doing their daily thing, going to work, busy with their career, with their business, busy with putting food on the table for their family, busy buying presents for their family, things like that. War is about to come, man, So, without further ado, the title says, Russian warship with nuclear-capable hypersonic missiles nearly in strike range of US. Okay, so let's read a couple of things concerning this article, man. It says, the Admiral Gorshkov, a Russian frigate armed with Zircon hypersonic missiles, has been tailed by NATO navies since it left port on January, tailed meaning followed. A Russian warship is headed towards US waters, according to an unconfirmed report in a Russian Telegram channel. The ship was thought to be heading towards the Horn of Africa, but it was picked up on a radar heading west. Now, in another article, you actually see that, what was it again? That, how do you call it? That basically Russia was doing a training with their missiles, with the hypersonic missiles, with China and the South African navies, like the title says here. Russian warship armed with hypersonic missiles to train with Chinese South African navies. And this is 2 days after the other article. Now when you read this, it says, where was it again? Let me see. Here, Gorshkov frigate launched earlier this month when Russian state media said the warship was dispatched with the hypersonic missiles. The deployment will also include joint training with the Chinese and South African navies off the coast of South Africa, according to Moscow and Pretoria. The exercises come as Russia nears the first anniversary of its full-scale invasion of Ukraine and marks both a show of force and, with joint exercises, an opportunity for Moscow to show it is not isolated on the world stage. So, if I'm correct, it is actually an exercise they was doing for the anniversary of their full-scale invasion in Ukraine. But it was also a mark to show their force, So it's a bit confusing when you read it like this, but at the end of the day, they are still testing their missiles, And the fact that there are missiles out there is also prophecy, because we know that America, which is Babylon, will be destroyed by nuclear fire. Right? Okay? So let me grab a scripture on that. Because that, war is coming. Okay? This is Revelations chapter 9, verse 12. One woe is past, woe meaning great destruction. And the great destruction that was past is World War I. That is past, okay? And behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. So 2 great destructions, 2 more world wars are gonna come after World War I. And we know that World War II, was around 1940 till 1945, if I believe. you know, and the scripture says too. So we're waiting on a third world war to come. So Revelation 11 verse 14. The second woe is past. So the second great destruction is past. The second world war is past. World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So it might seem a long time because the distance between World War One and World War II was not that much. It was around 20 years, I believe. And now from 1945, something around that time, till now, you know, World War III hasn't, you know, come yet in that effect of, missiles being fired to America. But it's rousing up, man. Okay? It's coming. Don't be fooled. Like the scripture says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So this is what we're hearing right now. Okay, that war is coming. Missiles are being tested, So this is prophecy coming to pass, man. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, so these rumors of wars, have to come. These things have to come to pass, man. They're testing their missiles, showing off their power, okay? And to understand, what this verse 6 is talking about, when you go to verse 3, and as he said upon the Mount of Olives, so Yahushua is referred to as he, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So at the end of the world, in the latter days, this would happen. Wars and rumors of wars. Okay? Now, of course, there have been, a lot of other wars in the past. But this would happen in the end of the world. The end of this time period, the end of this society, wherein these Edomites are ruling right now. Okay? Because it says, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? So this is concerning the time when Yahushua has yet to return. You see, so that can only be the end. Because 2,000 years ago, he was there. And it's been 2,000 years ago. So he still has to come back. So that shows you that this is not talking about, the wars between now and 2,000 years ago. But it's talking about the end time when Yahushua is going to return. Okay? So let's go back to the article. Now it says here, not this one. This one. It says here, a Russian warship is headed towards U.S. waters, according to an unconfirmed report in the Russian Telegram channel. So it's unconfirmed though. Okay, the ship was thought to be heading towards the Horn of Africa, but it was picked up on radar heading west. The account claimed the ship was spotted on radar in neutral waters of the Atlantic Ocean at an effective self-launch distance from the U.S. coast. So it's, danger spotted by the U.S. They'd be like, hey, things are getting serious. It added that the Russian Ministry of Defense said the ship's crew is ready to perform combat operations before it left port. So they are ready, They are ready for war, man. The Admiral Gorshkov is armed with Zircon hypersonic missiles, which Vladimir Putin has lauded as the latest generation of hypersonic missiles, which NATO systems could not match. So he's even calling these missiles the latest generation, so the most up-to-date missiles. Okay, the Mach 9, 6,670 miles per hour. Nuclear capable missiles have a range of at least 625 miles. That's a big distance. Okay, so eventually those missiles are gonna reach the land of America, man. Moscow showcased the weapon firing from the Barents Sea, hitting a target 625 miles away in the White Sea. Okay, now the last part. The Portuguese Navy, a NATO member, tailed, so followed, the frigate and its escort tanker, the Kama. However, the Kama continued south of the Azores, while the Admiral Gorshkov appeared to unexpectedly turn west. Okay, now going back to the other article, because there was also another point that I wanted to bring out. Yeah, again, this part. The exercises come as Russia nears the first anniversary of its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It marks both a show of force. Okay, so this act, is also a show of force. And we know that eventually Russia is gonna go against the land of America, Babylon, and fire those missiles. But not only Russia, man, also the rest of these nations are gonna turn around and fire their nuclear missiles against the land of Babylon, which is America, USA. Okay, now let's go to Ezekiel chapter 38. Let me start at verse. Let me start at verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. This is concerning, Gog is concerning the Russians. And say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog. So the Most High is also against Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So he's against Russia also. We should not forget that. But he's going to use Russia, as the main character to, as the main country in this current society. Okay, to have a big role, man, to play a big role in the up and coming World War III. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So when you put a hook into the jaw, that's basically saying like when you have a horse, right, and you put hooks in his jaws, you put the hook in the jaw. Let me just show you what I mean. That gives you the horse bridle. Let me do it like this. That gives you the opportunity to basically steer the animal in which way you want it to go. You see? So with this horse bridle, which is in his mouth, I believe, you can steer him which way you want to go. So symbolically, the Most High is putting these hooks, in Russia, in the mouth of Russia, in their jaws, and pulls it to turn them back, to turn them back to basically go and attack America, man. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, and horse is like, very powerful, like their armies basically, man. Okay, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields. All of them handling swords, yeah, man. So all these soldiers are gonna come, man, from Russia, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. So they also gonna join forces with Russia. You see? Now, let's go to let's jump to verse 10. to go to the point. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, thy mind concerning Gog, concerning Russia. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. And who are those that live in the land of unwalled villages? Okay, the unwalled village, that is talking about America. Why? Because when you have a village wherein you just, you live and you can do whatever the fuck you want, and you never get attacked, because America, when was the last time you remember that America was being attacked in the USA? So why would they need a wall? They don't need a protection, man. They don't have anybody to fear, basically, So their village doesn't need a wall. They are like in a how to say that, in a state wherein they don't need that protection. Just say it like that, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. And when you go into those suburbs where those white people live, they are at ease, man. They live in their kingdom. They live in their life, man. All of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So they don't need no bars nor gates because nobody is attacking them. But he's gonna send Russia there, though, to take a spoil and to take a prey. So they are gonna hunt them, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. So ultimately the Most High is gonna put those hooks in the jaw of Russia and turn them against America, which is already happening right now, And we're just waiting here for the war to really come, with the missiles, nuclear fire being launched against the land of America, Babylon. Okay, so with that, I hope this was edifying, and I want to give all praises and the highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akim across the world who are spreading this knowledge in truth and sincerity. May the election people of your households counsel one.